Hey, it's Vitaly from Kotlibri, and in today's video on this YouTube channel, we are going to talk about Figma to WordPress brief. Um, Basically, we are going to talk about any website development projects that ends up to be designed in Figma and then converted to a WordPress website. It can be also used with other CMS platforms or whatever, but basically we are focusing on WordPress on this channel, so we'll be talking about WordPress. And the reason why I'm recording this video is because at Kotlibri we're using Upwork as an extensive lead generation tool, and there are a lot of job posts with Figma links posted to be converted to a website. And the big issue with that is most briefs are like Figma links. That's it. So if you are an agency owner and you just came to a platform like Upwork or came to your contractor and say, hey, can you build this to me? Please estimate this. And estimate what? Figma link. Here's everything is self-explanatory. And that's why I'm recording this video. So I'm trying to explain why just Figma link is bad, that there is no accurate estimates based on Figma link only. And in today's video, we're going to talk about a template I've created for you, and I'm going to share it through this video, and then you will be able to grab this template below the video. So yeah, basically, there are four important parts of any website development. So it's project terms, technologies, environments, and process, and QA approach. Let's cover everything step by step. So what are the project terms? First of all, is budget. Budget 100% is very important detail to tell your contractor before you get an estimate. The reason why is because imagine you're having a website project with, I don't know, let's say $5,000 budget in mind, and you're just posting it to get an estimate. Depending on technology that will be used, there will be a huge range of bids on your job. First of all, will be guys from countries like India, Philippines, maybe Pakistan, offering you something starting from $200, maybe less, maybe a little bit more. Then there will be random, like from anywhere of the world, bids for like approximately your budget. So we're talking about 3, 4, 5,000 US dollars, and maybe 6, 7, I don't know. And then there will be agencies, guys who are doing their work. They know what's a common project scope, how much work is it for their team, and so on and so on. You get bids for like 10, 15, 20, $50,000. Of course, you will take something within your range, so like 4 to maybe 6, and say, okay, I can't really even explore other bids because they're out of my budget. And what you literally did, you created a big amount of work for you. You created unnecessary work for all these people applying to your job, which won't be used anyway, because you don't need too cheap solution, because it probably will not meet your like expectations in terms of quality. And I highly doubt you will be able to increase your budget to meet a highball offers. And yeah, that's my main point to the budget. If you have any budget in mind, just throw it down the road and like see how it goes. Because even these bigger like agencies, knowing your budget, they will be either skip your job, or they will like, okay, we can reduce scope of work and deliver this, and this. It still will meet all your requirements or most of your requirements, and you will see what's the plan based on the things that were listed out in your job description and a deadline. Of course, if a project is urgent, you won't get like get a nice contractor. Good contractors are in 99% like busy. They have some sort of schedule. If you don't warn them before the project like design got signed off by the client, you'll typing urgent, start right away, whatever. It will be a very, very bad idea just because of, who is available. 1% luck for normal contractor, 99% for like guys and agencies who deliver not the best work. You don't want to work with losers, sorry. You don't want to work with juniors. You don't want to work with the people who have lack of communication and other stuff. So if you want something like urgent, if you're like considering to publish the project, do it sooner than later. Like, because if you have like 2 weeks to collect applications, it's more chance and a good contractor will find out about that bid and he'll be happy down the road. Anybody who say, yes, I'm available, probably there is a reason for that. Or it could be a great contractor available right now, but it probably will cost you more than like average your expectations just because it's urgent. Okay, then 100%, any agency owner should include buffers into their project. Buffers are like cornerstone of any project. You literally put buffers on anything. And when you say a deadline to a developer or team or whatever, make sure they understand that it's a deadline for them, but it's not deadline for you. So like if you post any website project like within a schedule of like 1 month to deliver it to client, make sure that in 3 weeks you get everything, because that one final week will be spent on tiny back and forth details you need to polish the project. So my expectations when I post any project and I know a deadline, the deadline is like a launch date. So the person I am sharing the project with should deliver it faster, and then I need to make sure that everything is fine. In terms of like website development, how this works, team will spend roughly like 2 weeks on development, 1 week during quality assurance, and it will share with you very good project, very good. But rarely ever I met a project without like any QA, any revisions from client. I don't know how to explain this. You can do an amazing job, but without knowing all the scope of work, all the like full range of agreements between the agency and the client, you won't be able to just deliver and forget. You still have a buffer which we allocate for our team to work on some feedback from a client of our client. Because why? They have, okay, can I change this? Can I change that? Okay, we also need to do this and that. And of course, this will increase the timeline. And if few teams are dependent on this website to be started, like a SEO team, ads team, whatever team, everybody should be in the loop. Everybody should have some buffer. Everything should be done correctly and without rush. That's like my vision. It's not always about hiding the launch date from contractors. No, you can say, okay, guys, there is some launch date I'm having in mind, and make sure that your contractor understands this. He understands his deadline, plus all other times allocated to other teams to do some job, whatever. Payment schedule, that's something quite important for any type of business, any person, any contractor in the world. Sometimes it can be like full payment upfront, sometimes it can be milestones. Just write down whatever suits your project. I cannot advise on that. Like, personally, when I start a project, I don't know, as a team who is working on a project, I probably prefer like milestones. But I also had a bad experience where my client vanished after a few milestones and didn't pay for like the last one or something like that, just because I was not very, very accurate with defining the milestones at start. So if you're using some freelance platform and you're a contractor, make sure that as much as possible of total budget is funded upfront. Even if you don't have access to that money, they're funded on a platform. That's great. Like, fund them, start working. Same for agencies. If you want to, for agencies, a different way. So if you want to be sure that work goes as you expect, make a few milestones. Like average milestones are like homepage development, inner pages development, and then quality assurance. And the last one is like remaining part when the website goes live. That's how I see it. I've mentioned already other things that depend on the project. So like SEO, content part, translations, Google Ads setup, some email capture setup, whatever. Just do this and not do this. Just mention this in a brief to make sure that your contractor understands it. He cannot violate his deadline because there will be implications for other teams. Okay, now we're going to a part number 2, which is called like technologies. So we are talking about WordPress websites primarily. So the CMS is like WordPress, but you may specify what's it like less WordPress, whatever it is for you. Maybe it's WooCommerce. And the theme. Theme is something we are talking about all the time, but never considering theme as something very important. It is. So if you're an agency, you can specify how you would like your contractors to start this work, and ideal way is to go back in time and see how your previous contractors were doing the same job. I mean, what kind of themes they'll be using. Great example. So if your agency have own starter theme, it's the best case scenario. You may need to make sure that contractor understands that he'll be working on your custom theme. Why it's important? Because any custom theme requires some transition period. Transition period when you or like development team, they will be integrated into your workflow. It's different file structure, different tools used to compile the code, whatever. They will need some time. They probably will need some documentation to be aware what you are expecting from them. If you won't do that, probably you will end up with time implications or just work done in different way. If you don't have any of that, okay, specify, do you want it to be a custom theme? If it's a custom theme started from scratch, great. If it's custom theme started from underscores, okay, any other starter theme, whatever. If you want theme like, I don't know, Flotsam, Avada, you name it, just say. And this will be a great point where at the end of a project there will be either no surprises, either you can check out the brief and say to your contractor, hey, I've mentioned this in the brief. Why it's done a different way? Please redo this. I don't know, for free. I personally say that it's not billable work if you specified something in brief and it was done in a different way. That's why creating this brief is also a good security measure for both sides. If a freelancer or contractor will do whatever you say in this brief and then you ask different way, they are secured from you as well because it's like extra payments for extra work. Okay, project type. Yeah, absolutely, you understand that the website can be done new, like from scratch. It can be copy of like old website and then just a theme switch, so the database remain intact. There are also different projects where you just extend existing website. Make sure that everybody understands how work should be proceed, because there are different implications down the road. And if you don't specify like these details, contractors start assuming. And when you assume, it's as you and me, So make sure everything is lined here as well. And then editing experience. It's sometimes you may say, okay, we could just specify editing experience. You can, but the less you define into this brief, the less accurate final delivery. So editing experience just on our like background is usually ACF templates, ACF blocks, ACF flexible content, or like any page builder, Elementor, Flotsam UX Builder, LWP Bakery, you name it. So we are using, for example, ACF flexible fields or Gutenberg blocks, and in most cases, clients like something on the backend. And it's important, if you like something your previous developer did, specify this into this brief, because if you're hiring another person, it will have another vision, another background, and just say, I, for example, need thumbnails to be added for the blocks on the backend, so the client can see how the block will look when he's editing the content. Then some global blocks, it's like parts like testimonial sliders, logos, social media icons, some call to actions that uses the same content and layout all over the website. And if you specify this, you control them in one place rather than editing them on like 100 pages at once. So at Codelibre, we do like a site settings, and here are like global blocks, scripts, and 404 page, header settings, footer settings, archive settings, all the stuff our clients need. If you're familiar with custom post types, please specify that like services you wish to do as a custom post type, portfolio you wish to do as a custom post type. If you, for example, say that services is a child page to parent page of services, let them know. Just make sure that you're on the same page with the contractor on every part of that. And include sitemap. Yeah, sitemap is very important. If you're including sitemap into your brief, you make sure that everything that is in Figma will be like done. Everything that is in a sitemap will be done, because what's common situation, Figma does not represent the sitemap. Figma represents something, and then some pages like privacy policy, 404 page, search results page, some archive page, they may be missing. And by having a sitemap, there will be no SEO issues, or at least less of them. And overall project will be going much smoother. I prefer like make them in Figma and just see visually how a website will look like. For example, here like homepage and all other pages, but we 100% would like to add here like privacy policy page, which is somewhere in a footer. It's just a plain text page, but I saw a lot of projects. I saw enough projects to make sure that it's really important step. Additional functionality. So it's very something tricky. Most agencies think that if this was done before, it will be done in this project. No, it will be not. New contractor, new ideas, new way of doing things. Make sure you know how to handle search functionality, filtering, recommended articles, and other stuff. So search functionality, what can be done there? Well, first of all, it's like a search plugin you're using, or you're using native WordPress search. Does it like pop-ups in a full screen mode, or it's just works on the same page? And when you click enter, is it directing you to search results page, or results appear with Ajax on the same page? Same with filtering. Is it like just links to categories, or it's Ajax filter for categories? Is there and or type of relationship between selected items? Can user easily like remove things, and the developer knows how it will be visually represented on the website, and all that stuff? I'm making some offerings in this document, and we are going back to plugins. So plugins is a huge part of any website. I understand that, and I personally divide plugins, like a plugin races, into a few categories. So category number one is something you need for functionality, and number two is something for design. So for design, it's something me personally hate to use. I recommend to skip them, write custom code at whatever price. It's always impact like performance, SEO, general ability to maintain your website into working conditions, avoid weird bugs for ages. And there are functional things that you can do with the custom code, but it will take you years, months, weeks to write, and project does not have budget for that for sure. So like SEO plugins, cache plugins, lazy load, some image stuff, multi-language plugins, redirection stuff, migration tools, debug tools, duplicate reorder stuff. No need to write them. Just use whatever is on the market. Yes, this plugin have a small impact on your like backend performance, but like the most fast loading website is a website without any plugins that looks like a plain HTML and CSS. I understand that, However, it doesn't mean that using all of these plugins, you'll end up with a poorly performing website, 100% not. Any website you're doing with a set of these plugins can still be in a green zone on mobiles, 100%. I have no doubt, because it's our experience. So what's my main point here? Plugin section is like different plugin authors and vendors try to achieve the same results for your website. For example, SEO plugins, you have like Rank Math, you have Yoast SEO, you have all-in-one SEO pack, and other SEO plugins. An agency, you're probably working with one kind of this plugin, and we need to make sure that you will have the same plugin on a new project when it will be delivered to you. No need to reinstall, reconfigure, mess up, find a new area in admin panel how this is being managed. No, you need to make sure that your requirements are followed like completely. If you don't have any idea what to do, first of all, open a backend of a website you have done before by another team, another developer, and write down every plugin they're using and like mark them. What plugin from all that list you've been using personally and you are very happy with that, and make sure that at least these like 5 plugins will be reused on a new project. For example, like redirection plugins, it could be a separate plugin or it could be functionality inside of a SEO plugin. And whatever you are used to is not whatever is used to your developer or contractor. So make sure you pass this to them and they will do things correctly from the first time. And yeah, then moving forward to marketing integrations. Whatever you are using, again, list out these things. You might not be 100% sure when the project only starts, understands it, but write down everything you feel will be 100% there, because that may include something very interesting and that requires some integration time. And it's very important when you estimate the project that you understand all like inputs, and that's when you as a contractor can agree to a certain timeline. Okay, moving forward to the environments. The bigger your agency is, the more requirements you may have. If you're a small agency, you might not have any, but there are some of your preference. And I've listed down what you may have, like a style guide. Do you have yes or no? Just make sure that a contractor will follow them. A server, is he going to work on your server? Does he need like his own server? Or your client will provide their like server and work will be done there. My personal preference is when our team works, it should work on our servers and pass to client servers only when the work is done and when certain milestone is paid. It's like extra security layer when we own the code and everything. And also we own the server and we can control like caching issues, database issues, have full control over all logs, provide access to new team members, revoke access, and so on and so on. And the biggest implication here is when project is coming up to an end, somebody on agency's end goes to vacation and nobody knows how to provide you with some basics like FTP access, server access, something stopped working. Nobody can do anything. Team is blocked, timeline is coming, and you have no idea how to sort out the situation. Same for Git. So like, do you own a Git? Do you have any requirements to Git? If you do, please list them out. If you don't, just make sure that Git is at least one branch with the code, push there so you can see the progress. Contractor can track his code. The number one red flag for any like contractor for website development, just ask them a question. How are you going to develop a website, like locally or just on a server? If you're doing this on a server, run. Very important kind of access to provide when project just like starts It's already when like you selected the contractor, but you need to provide WP admin access to production or to production and staging or only to staging. It's up to you. FTP to staging environment, PHP MyAdmin staging environment, and Cloudflare hosting access, whatever you feel you may need. It's like optional, but at least it should be linked to staging environment and FTP to staging with WP admin access to staging. Final step of today's video that should have been like 10 minutes video, and it's like 30 minutes now. It's QA approach. So when you write down anything defined in this brief, make sure that your contractor can test their work before you do. So the most annoying situation is when you add a requirement, do not explain how this will be tested. So when you get this, it's pure luck if things are done right, and in most cases things are done wrong. For example, if you say website should be fast, mention how much and how are you going to test it. Is it important to pass Core Web Vitals? Or is it important to just hit, I don't know, green zone for mobiles in a page speed insights tool? And make sure that you understand that if it's Core Web Vitals, it will take like 30 days to get the data once website is live, and you won't get the data while website is not published yet. Same for like accessibility stuff, design, like design references. It can be like tested with a perfect pixel tool, so it's full overlay design over the website, and you check pixel by pixels, everything is right. If it's your case, I would say that this kind of projects require more attention on QA phase, on development phase, and every party should be aware that this is done. For example, I would 100% skip a project if you'll say I want pixel perfect website. You'll say I want a custom theme website tested with a perfect pixel. Okay, that's fair enough. We'll do everything. And thanks for watching this video. Hit the like button, please. Subscribe. Write down the comments if you have any. I will respond to all of them. And if you want to grab this document, I will leave the link into the video description below. Request access. I'll approve everybody. Thanks for watching, and goodbye on the next, and see you on the next episode of WordPress Talks with Vitaly from Codelivery. Bye-bye.